is your Fast Life Motorcycle channel, and I just had to chime in on this. I do a lot of accident analysis. I did a lot of this before I started riding, so I can learn what not to do by looking at a lot of accidents. In fact, that's one of the techniques that I recommend for new riders. You want to learn how to be safe. Um, do what I did. Look at a lot of accidents and learn from the mistakes of others rather than having to learn it the hard way yourself. So in this video, you can see here, this rider is trying to block traffic. And this rider is not really paying attention. He might be tired. Some people who don't really think deeply enough into things may be completely shocked as to how we hit this rider. But I can easily see how that can happen. You have all these moving targets, all these moving motorcycles. He's not just looking at that one bike, he's looking all over the place. It's very easy for him to just miss that, especially if he's tired. I know a lot of people, they don't respect that you need to get enough sleep before you go on a ride. You know, like, oh, I'm fine. You got a lot of ego on two wheels, right? I have friends that do that. Not enough sleep when they go riding. That affects your reaction time. You're moving at a good amount of speed. Who knows? If further analysis of the video, maybe at some point in time, the rider in front of him that goes to the left of the guy that was hit, maybe he was blocking the view of the other biker. So only at the last minute he saw him. A lot of factors. I'm not on the bike, so I don't know what he saw. But I'm not too shocked about this happening. I definitely think he was distracted and probably not paying attention. But I just don't find it to be such a like, whoa, how could you miss this bike right in front of you? I could see that happening for sure. Now, for an alert defensive rider who is skilled, it becomes a lot less likely that this could happen. But even for that rider, being human, getting distracted at the last minute, these things can happen. So we already eliminated the potential liabilities of the rider who hit from the rear. Now let's talk about the rider who got hit. Very bad position to be in. You're stopped on a highway with motorcycles going by at 60 miles per hour plus. And you're stopped on a highway. Add to that, he has his girlfriend on the bike. So you have another human being on your bike that is in a risky type situation. If I were gonna do this kind of maneuver for some reason, I would definitely not want to have another rider on my bike, because the risks are kind of obvious. Anytime you're stopped and you're stopped in a position where high-speed traffic has easy access to you, like this, there's nothing blocking these bikes from hitting. He's not like, there's not a curb or medium, there's nothing there. He's right there. He has all these riders have easy access to him. So if you're going to be stopped in this scenario, you need to be in a mode where you're ready to go. You are watching your back, or as we say in the military, you're watching your six very closely. You are anticipating, and that's one of the things that's kept me safe on motorcycles, and it's one of the things that can keep you guys safe as well. You don't wait for things to happen. You've got to be predictive. You've got to be able to analyze scenarios and be able to see the potential risks before they occur. Now, me in this scenario, this is kind of an obvious threat. One of these bikers hitting me. It's not a surprise. This is not a freak accident. This is not like, whoa, how did that happen? This is something that any rider with skill and experience should expect to be a potential threat. So number one, I wouldn't attempt it with somebody on my bike. Any kind of high risk scenario, I don't want a passenger on my bike. If I got a passenger on my bike, which I hardly do anyway, I'm going to avoid high risk scenarios, so I'm not going to do this. But if I'm going to do this, regardless of passenger or not, I'm going to be ready to move. Now, from the second that rider passed on the left side, like if I for some reason didn't get it, right, I just brain fart or whatever, the second that rider passes on the left side, major red flag. Whoa, what the hell? I'm on high alert mode. Now, unfortunately, the biker that hit him is really close. So even if at that point you're like, whoa, what's going on? And then at that point, you're like high alert looking around, you don't have much time to spot this guy who's about to hit you. But even still, if you were alert, if you were being a little bit more thoughtful in your riding strategy, then you would have seen you had two chances. Number one, the riders going by really close to you on the right hand side would have been like, whoa. That should have set you like, whoa, I gotta be more alert here. What's going on? Number two, that guy coming up on you. So you have two bikes that are essentially behind you and to the left of you, the danger zone, and did not pick up on either. So I have to wonder, what is this rider doing? Did he just stop there and he's just waiting? He's hanging around, you know, dum-de-dum-de-dum. I mean, did it cross his mind at all of the threat of moving traffic behind him? Because if it did, how is it that he missed two bikes? I don't see any attempt to move or to avoid anything. His foot is down the entire time, I think, until the impact. So there was completely no awareness. Look at that. Completely no awareness, no nothing. Somebody else commented that he didn't have a high vis visor, which would have potentially helped. But I think the biggest thing is that was a really, really dangerous spot to be in. Now notice the difference of the rider on the other side. This rider stopped on the other side, but he is outside of the active lane. He's kind of in the shoulder a little bit there. Now even him, he's not 100% safe. He needs to be still aware, because a rider loses control. He you know, narrowly avoids one bike, and then he comes flying over here. He could run right into you still. So this guy still needs to be watching his back. But at least he's in a lower risk scenario, and he doesn't seem to have a passenger. This guy's with a passenger in the middle of two lanes of traffic, and he looks like he's within one lane. He's actually in a lane. He's not like in the median or whatever. He's in a lane. And apparently not really paying attention. So like most accidents, you know, again, we have a lot of ego on two wheels. We like to point fingers. It's always the cagers. It's always the next rider. Pretty much most accidents are the fault of both people involved. Someone was reckless and not paying attention and hits someone else. And someone else is not being defensive enough to pick up on that threat and react to it in time to avoid the impact. Because as a rider, this applies to people in cars as well, especially riders, because we don't have airbags. We can't rely on anyone else looking out for us. You've got to look out for you. So if somebody hits you, that tells me you are not looking out for you effectively. People can disagree with me and argue with me what you want to say, but if you are looking out for you effectively, you're taking full responsibility for your life and your safety, you make it pretty difficult for someone to hit you. And at a minimum, if someone hits you, you should react. So even if it's at the last minute, I should see some reaction. I don't see any reaction. I don't see his foot coming up, nothing. He's just sitting there. So at no point in time does he pick up on this threat. And this is after a biker just passed him on the left-hand side. So I definitely think this is a classic case of two to tango. I think both riders are at fault here. Who's more at fault? I don't know. I'd have to analyze it, think about it some more. But that's besides the point. The bottom line is, whatever is done is done. I hope this rider heals up. I wish him all the best. I don't know who this person is. But what's important is for future riders to avoid this type of scenario. Because if one of you guys watching this video and this happens to you, maybe the outcome might not be as good for you. This could be the end of your riding career, or worse, the end of your life. All right, ladies, this is your Fast Life Motorcycle channel. I know I've been missing in action for quite some time. I assure you I will be coming back on the scene pretty soon. Definitely coming back with a splash. but this has been a really challenging year for me. So a lot of stuff going on, family and otherwise business related. So, you know, obviously I gotta prioritize the more important things. Um, and there's some other things. There's some other things that have been going on as well, which I'll be sharing with you guys pretty soon. I have missed, you know, our hangouts and things like that, and doing the videos, and I haven't really been writing that much either. But you know, I bleed gasoline is my one of my slogans. So um, I definitely got to get back into it, and I will be doing so pretty shortly. Starting to line things up to get things back in action, but there's still some things that need to be accomplished. So just stay tuned. Motorcycle Extremists, you know, we still need to hook him up. We're supposed to get him a luggage for his bike. You know, all my projects got put on hold, so that never happened. But that's definitely gonna happen, and sorry for all the delays and everything, everybody. Also, Triple X Deadhead, I think we were supposed to do a collaboration, so we need to get that going again. I know Fast and Fearless has been doing some videos, so I gotta catch up with him, see what's going on. So what's up, Scooter Rider 1 and everybody else? Um, I will be back shortly. I see R1 Kelly doing some cool videos too. All right, guys, I'm out. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this whole incident.